He was a family man whose life revolved around his daughter.
Telling your mother it's an old building, it'll cost a fortune to fix it up.
But one day, a truck entered his street, and in blink of seconds his daughter disappeared.
Anna! Here!
Police failed, and everybody lost hope, but he persistently hunt trail of strangest psychopath criminal on that particular day. Welcome back to Paramount Recaps. I don't have many subscribers, but your single comment is a ray of hope to motivate me.
God.
Name your buddy down there, huh?
The story kicks off with Keller Drover and his son Ralph, who are just getting back from a hunting trip, where Keller emphasizes the importance of always being prepared. Later, Keller, his wife Grace, and their daughter Anna head over to their neighbor's house for Thanksgiving. Their neighbors, the Birch family, warmly welcome them. As everyone gets ready for dinner, Anna asks to play outside with Joy, one of the Birch's daughters. Keller suggests they take Ralph along, and the kids rush outside. They become curious about an RV parked nearby, but Ralph and Eliza, the older siblings, quickly steer them away. After dinner, Anna and Joy get permission to return to the Drover's house to search for a whistle Anna lost. Time passes, and Keller grows uneasy when the girls don't return. He asks Ralph and Eliza where their sister is, but gets no answers. Keller rushes home and searches the neighborhood, but can't find the girls. Ralph suddenly remembers the RV they saw earlier, and he and Keller go to check it out, only to find it gone. Keller calls the police, and we cut to Detective Loki, who's eating at a diner when he gets a call about the missing RV. Loki quickly tracks down the RV, but as he approaches, it suddenly moves and crashes a moment later, with smoke coming from it. Loki and other officers rush to the scene and find a man named Alex Jones hiding inside. They arrest him, but despite Loki's intense questioning, Alex refuses to say anything about the missing girls. That night, Loki visits Alex's aunt, Holly Jones, and learns that the RV has no incriminating evidence. He orders another search of Holly's house and the surrounding woods. The next day, Loki visits the Drover family, assuring them that he's fully committed to finding Anna and Joy. He breaks the news that no evidence has been found against Alex, which Keller finds hard to believe. Keller asks Loki if Alex will remain in custody, but Loki informs him that without charges, Alex will be released soon. Later, Loki tries to persuade his captain to hold Alex for one more day, but the request is denied due to lack of evidence. Loki spends the night visiting known criminals and ends up at Father Patrick Dunn's house. He finds the priest unconscious and discovers a hidden basement with creepy statues and a bound body. When Father Patrick wakes, Loki demands answers. The search for the girls continues the next day. Keller learns that Alex is about to be released and confronts him as he steps out, desperate for answers. Alex whispers that the girls didn't cry until he left them, leaving Keller shaken. Captain Richard scolds Keller for his outburst, but tells him to go home. Keller insists on Alex's rearist, but the captain suggests passing the information to Loki instead. Later, Loki visits Alex and Holly again, questioning whether Alex said anything to Keller. He hints that Holly could face jail time if Alex is hiding the truth. Afterward, Loki calls Keller to say that Alex is no longer a suspect. Back at home, Keller tries to comfort Grace, who's desperate for their daughter's return. She pleads with him to bring Anna back, and Keller gives her some medication to calm her down. He then tells Ralph to take care of Grace while he helps the police. Keller heads to Holly's house and watches it until nightfall. He sees Alex walking his dog, notices him choking it, and hears him singing a tune his daughter used to sing. Armed, Keller confronts Alex, demanding to know where he learned that Christmas tune. The next day, Keller takes Franklin to his old house, revealing that he has Alex tied up there. Franklin is shocked and suggests they go to the police, but Keller insists they need to force a confession to save their daughters. Keller gives Alex one last chance to confess, but Alex remains silent. Meanwhile, Loki digs into old child disappearance cases and meets Mrs. Millan, who believes the same person who took her child 26 years ago also took the two girls. Back at the station, Loki continues questioning Father Patrick about the body he found. The priest reveals that a man confessed to killing 16 children and was proud of waging a war against the world. As night falls, Keller's interrogation of Alex turns brutal, but Alex refuses to talk. Meanwhile, a vigil for the missing girls is held, with Franklin supporting his grieving family. Loki notices a man named Bob Taylor at the vigil, placing a teddy bear among the candles. When Bob abruptly leaves, Loki follows him, leading to a chase that ends with Bob attacking Loki, but eventually escaping near a busy road. The next day, news breaks that Bob is a new suspect. Franklin hears this, but decides to go with Keller to question Alex again. Keller suspects a connection between Alex and Bob and is determined to find the truth. Back at the station, Loki informs Captain Richard that Alex has been missing since he was last seen walking his dog. Loki questions why Alex wasn't under surveillance and stresses the importance of tracking everyone's movements. Meanwhile, Keller tells Franklin they're running out of time. At home, Franklin finally tells Nancy the truth about his absences, and she confronts Keller about Alex's abduction. She insists on seeing Alex, and when she does, she's horrified by his condition. She pleads with Alex to help find her daughter, but he only says, "Help me." In a shocking turn, Nancy frees Alex, who then attacks her and tries to escape. Keller and Franklin restrain him, but Keller is furious with Nancy for untying him. Keller then builds a box to trap Alex and so he can't escape. He later shows Franklin and Nancy his extreme method of getting information from Alex. Franklin argues that they don't know if Alex is guilty, but Keller simply hands him a hammer and tells him to free Alex if he wants. Franklin starts to break down the box, but Nancy stops him, reminding him of their daughter. Meanwhile, Bob breaks into the Birch's home and sneaks into Eliza's room. When Franklin and Nancy return, they tell Eliza they won't help Keller, but won't stop him. As they head upstairs, they're confronted by an angry Eliza. Bob, who has disappeared, heads to Keller's home and wakes Grace. She mistakes the noise for Anna returning home, but she's confused when she sees her bedroom window open. Ralph tries to comfort her, and when Loki arrives, Grace recounts what happened. Loki suspects she might be hallucinating, but he checks the basement and is surprised to find it well stocked with canned foods and meals. Grace explains that Keller always likes to be prepared. Loki becomes suspicious when he notices a bag of lye out of place at Keller's home and realizes Grace is lying about Keller's whereabouts. The next day, Loki starts following Keller around town and notices him visiting an abandoned house. When confronted, Keller lies about his destination, leading to a tense exchange where Loki accuses him of not helping the police and mentions Alex's disappearance. Keller, angry and desperate, tells Loki to focus on finding his daughter instead of following. Exhausted, Keller goes home and dreams of his missing daughter, Anna, but wakes up before getting any answers. Loki investigates Keller's background, discovering that Keller's late father left him in a nearby building, which raises Loki's suspicions further. Meanwhile, Keller, desperate for information, tortures Alex, who mumbles cryptically that he is not Alex, confusing Keller. Just as Loki arrives at Keller's house, Keller quickly hides. Loki searches the house, but is interrupted by a call about a sighting of Bob, leaving Keller behind. Loki confronts Bob about his suspicious behavior, and after a tense standoff, discovers a room filled with venomous snakes and bloodied clothes, along with a book of mazes. Despite finding no bodies, the Birches identify some of Joy's clothes among the items, and Keller, devastated, blames Loki for wasting time and not saving his daughter. At home, Keller's son Ralph accuses him of abandoning the family, causing a heated argument. Meanwhile, Loki continues to investigate Bob, who manages to grab an officer's gun during an interrogation, preventing further information from being revealed. Keller, still convinced Alex knows something important, returns to the abandoned house to pray for guidance. Alex cryptically suggests the girls are in the maze, but Keller can't get more information out of it. The next day, Keller visits Alex's Aunt Holly to apologize for his behavior at the police station, and they discuss her past. During their conversation, Keller notices a newspaper headline about Bob's death, and Holly mentions her husband's fascination with mazes. As Loki tries to piece together the case, he notices a pendant in a photo that resembles the maze design and rushes back to Bob's house, where he learns the evidence found earlier is mostly fake. Despite this, Loki insists there's a connection and returns to the Drover's house, finding evidence that Bob stole Anna's socks. Just then, Grace receives a call that Joy has been found, but Anna is still missing. At the hospital, Joy mentions that Keller was there during her ordeal, which panics Keller. He flees with Loki in pursuit, but Loki loses him. Keller heads to Holly's house, offering to help with repairs as a way to make amends. However, Holly reveals her true intentions by pulling a gun on Keller, forcing him into a pit in her yard after shooting him in the leg. She confesses to a series of child abductions she carried out with her husband, admitting that Alex was their first victim and revealing her twisted belief that these abductions expose the monstrous nature in people like Keller. Loki, following a lead, arrives at Holly's house and after a tense search, finds her about to inject Anna with a substance. A shootout ensues, with Loki getting shot but ultimately saving Anna and rushing her to the hospital. The next day, the media reports that Barry Millan, aka Alex Jones, has been reunited with his family after 26 years, while Keller remains missing. Grace and the others visit Loki in the hospital, asking him to search for Keller, who is still trapped in the pit at Holly's house. As Loki prepares to leave, he hears a faint whistle from the pit but dismisses it, leaving Keller's fate uncertain.